Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are moving on to our final match of the night. It is, of course, the big bad Chinese Dragons taking on Oppenheimer. Top of the table versus already qualified as well, so there's not much to play for, but it should be a spectacle. We are obviously on the Blight, as you can see. My goat, Benny, up and ready to get going. We will be following this with Nightmare and a tiebreaker of Demogorgon if we are to get there. Unfortunately, as we said a bit earlier, Hunter, my princess, has departed me. But I am joined by the lovely and magnificent Tavi. How are you tonight, my friend?
Thank you, Chief, for the glaze, and I'm doing all right. I nearly crashed out trying a really difficult challenge, but I'm still on it, and I've not lost hope, and I'm here right now, casting Sea Dragon's game, and this is going to be crazy because Benny's Blight has been really on point. I believe the last time I witnessed this Blight in action, I saw a 4K2, but nevertheless, he's not going to be able to connect with this first rush, but gets a pallet out of the way, immediately rushes to Shack actually to try and catch out a survivor here, but does not see any scratch marks. So yeah, maybe a bit of indecision here for Benny. Sees a scratch marks of effect around the mid side and will decide to commit this at least for the time being, Chief.
Yeah, it is obviously a pretty unideal chase to be taking on a jungle gym, as it's a completely safe pallet. But Nias has been called out on this filler rock. Benny's going to opt to break it, giving us back access to this top jungle gym, which is a little unfortunate, and Nias will be able to survive on it for a little bit if we play it correctly. We do win our first 50, and Benny's just going to opt to break that pallet immediately. In the background, we did see Benny also lose his ruin, and I think Benny is sick of playing around these topside gens as they are corrupted, and is going to head back over to bottom. We do see some scratch marks trailing in our way to 5, but no survivor to be seen just yet. Sea Drag are the experts of not giving anything away for free, and Effect has been caught out on this deep pallet 5. Benny's going to use his rushes trying at this tag. We're playing 50s around the rock. We are just barely unable to connect with that swing. Effect will in turn greed the pallet. Benny will follow around this time with the M1s, forcing the drop, and now I'm sure a zone will be coming out very shortly to get Effect in a prime position to take a tag. But with this pallet at 6 and the Cracker, we might be able to do something special. We've managed to avoid a few rushes so far. Effect is playing lovely around these nice little boxes here. They are so safe with the Blight because of their angles, and this gives us access to Shack. Now, Effect is going to greed that, my word. That is some ballsy play, but he does have this filler pallet 6 once again to play around. We've seen Blight has decided to leave. We've headed all the way over to 7 to interrupt the gen. Lin has taken his distance to the pallet. Will be dropping that now. Getting the stun as well. That's a champion's blind to follow up. Lin, once again, following up. Effects chase for beautiful Effect. No tag given so far. Although we haven't popped a gen, we have so much pressure on the map, Tavi. And I dare say we could see a gen pop very shortly if Benny isn't able to capitalize and get some perk value out of pop and eruption.
Yeah, and he's completely lost the ruin, which you saw earlier in the trial. That was why there was a bit of, commotion in the top side of the map because the ruin got popped and, Benny perhaps was a bit indecisive. Now is kind of maybe regretting chasing any survivor here. I don't really know what to say, but finally, Sea Dragons is going to lose a 50-50 and take the first tag. This is a crazy amount of time. I think Corrupt is completely gone from the trial. And it means, again, Benny is not in a great position here. Even, I think, Lin did have the pallet, but Benny did a few ambitious rushes. Lin's greeting it, and I think he'll get away with it. That's 2 generators in the background, plus a third for Sea Dragons. Oh, this gen is right next to the chase, but yeah, he's still got Shack pallet up, which is crazy to be honest. That's a Shack pallet drop at 2. Like, I don't think the pub teammates will leave any minus drops on that Chief, but nevertheless, yeah, Sea Drags they're just doing what they do best, which is just running over pretty much any killer. This is what they're capable of, and yeah, we're watching it happen. And Benny is unfortunately on the receiving side of this treatment.
Yeah, it is very unfortunate for Benny. Obviously, we love Benny at OSL. He is a name that's been around for a while, and he's such a nice guy. And to see him be treated this way by Chinese Dragons is always a little bit heartbreaking, but I mean, it's a spectacle for sure. And for our viewers and myself, honestly, as a massive fan of Chinese Dragons, it's something you do just love to be able to sit and watch. In the background, we do see the unhook onto Lin come through. He's pathing through Shaq over towards 5. In the background as well, our unhooker of effect has gotten on Shaq. Lin will be taking his distance towards 4. We don't have the pallet at deep 5. We've already dropped and used that, so we only have this to play around. If we can bait out some rushes, it would be nice, giving us access back towards 6. But as we are playing M1 on this pallet, that will be our second down of the trial with not much else to show. Nobody around for a pallet save. But there is a gen topside that is about to pop, and the gen at 7 has a fair bit of progress on it as well. This will be one generator remaining in the trial, and I think we might have a decent split, Tavi. I'm not too sure. We see Shaq and 7, not too sure where our last gen is, but if it's topside, I dare say we're probably seeing very low stage out from this position. It's at 3, so it could be better, it could be worse, all things considered. Either way, we've gotten pop off this gen now, and on top of that, we've gotten the FTP onto our tunnel out of Lin, so he might be able to re-stealth and prevent that tunnel out from happening at all. We'll just have to see what transpires as Benny heads over to 3. Sees some blood. We know that's obviously Nia, not even Sakura, our saver, and Nia's done his best to be able to avoid that tag, flaring out and making his way towards the top side of the map, trying to die all the way towards 10. And Benny is all too aware how good of a despot that is, and is trying to debate whether he wants to take this chase or not. And lovely greed from Nia's as well gives him full pallet control once again. The swings through doesn't do us any justice. We're going to get us stunned, giving us further access towards the top side, but instead we play the 50s, and that is finally our third down of the trial, Tavi. We have so much pressure. The gens are split. There's a beamer here for the save as well. Oh my word. Could you ask for anything else?
That is incredible. And the thing that makes this crazy is that the survivor with the beamer is the survivor who's on 2 hooks, who's on death hook. And unfortunately, I think a polyblock was attempted. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, it means that Lin playing aggressive we will not really incur too much penalties. That's a second flashlight save in a year. Well, what could you expect, Benny? You saw it once.
Oh, my
There
heart.
it is again. And I think Benny is, yeah, really struggling because of Lin's play there. That was really smart from Cdrax to set that up because, again, as I was saying before, Lin is only worth 1 additional stage if they were to die in this endgame. So taking the aggression and trying to play like pubs is finally a good thing. Effect is also taking the next chase. They are fresh, of course, so I would not be surprised to see Lin coming in very shortly. Where is that little Adam Francis noggin? And is actually looks like they have more than enough distance to get out of the trial and make it a 2-stage performance. That is incredible. That is insane. And
Yeah.
you know, it's the average Sunday evening for Cdrax, just casually getting a 2-stage against an S tier killer. Everyone.
Yeah, you really can't even be surprised anymore, you know. It is just so Sea Dragon. Look, we're going to jiggy towards the gate in the last seconds, baiting the hatch play, and we're able to get out as we close in. That is the 2 stages confirmed and secured, and you are right, they are spectacular. Chinese Dragons have done it again. They've managed to completely pull someone's pants down live in public and embarrass them, and then after doing all that, they've decided to get back up themselves and point and laugh. So, you got to feel bad for Benny because that is not a performance you're going to want to remember if you are him. But once again, I said it a little bit earlier, it's the spectacle. It's a show whenever Chinese Dragons get to play. I mean, look what we just had in that endgame. 2 beamer saves to deny the hook state. We get 2 stages all in all. Like, beautiful stuff. Incredible stuff, Tavi.
I mean, yeah, and not really much else to add on to that. I've said my piece. I do remember watching Sea Dragons when I was first, exposed to their very, I don't know, just elite gameplay and really high class, rotations and just efficiency. That was back last year, and I have not regretted watching any Sea Dragons match since then. It's always been an incredible game from them, no matter what set is played, no matter when it was played, and no matter what the balancing was. It's always been outs, and it's incredible how they do it.
100% Tavi. I mean, yeah, Chinese Dragons, getting to watch them at any point in their history has been so incredible. I mean, hell, there have been times where I'm sure you can remember this, having Ah Hong on the roster as well. Watching him play Blight was just a spectacle. It's a shame that we didn't get to witness that once again in OSL because it would have been so lovely. But tonight, we do have Pig stepping up to play the Blight for us, which will be hopefully just as entertaining as what we got to watch previously from his survivors. But as we do get this lobby set up, I think we're going to cut to a very quick intermission, collect our thoughts. I'm going to need to go grab another drink of water because my word, all the screaming about that beamer save has got me riled up and my throat is definitely starting to feel it. So please stay with us. Go and do the same if you haven't already. Make sure you're hydrated and looking after yourself. We're in for the long haul tonight. So stay with us and we will be back very, very shortly. We are back, everybody. We are still on the Blight set. We do have the big man Pig himself back on the killer for yet another performance that could be generational. We're just gonna have to wait and see, but I'm looking forward to seeing what he has in store for us. 2 stages is the Tycon, 3 will be the win. Not very hard to achieve on the Blight, but hey, earlier in the season, Tavi, I would like to point out we did see Pig struggle on the Blight, and then we also did see a couple weeks later, apparently, him 4K3. Can't confirm that, I didn't watch it, but I was told earlier today when I was having this conversation. So we will just have to see what version of Pig wakes up today. Inside of him, there are apparently 2 wolves, and we will be seeing which one has shown up. Tavi, which one are you expecting, firstly? And, well, I mean, this is a bit of a redundant question. I think the answer is pretty obvious, but do you think he's going to meet the win con of 3 stages?
Is he gonna make a win con of 3 stages? Well, Pig is a smart little DVD player, and any DVD player would tell you that 3 stages is 1 camp out until the end game. So realistically, all Pig needs to do is camp out the survivor until death before every gen pops and everyone gets out. Which, I mean, it's pretty simple to do. And with this first tag coming in, like, I would say at least 10 times quicker than the previous trial. Yeah, I think his job will be kind of done here. Does sort of lose a little bit of momentum with that, but I mean, he's still caught up to the survivor. They have nothing around here, and it will just be death. So, yeah, I don't expect him to lose this win condition as of right now. But of course, maybe I'll eat my own words because I did say that when I was casting that 5 or 6 stage game where Pig was playing, and it came down to the wire, Chief. I think we were both on board together when we saw that, and Pig won by a sliver, I believe. But as you said, 4K3 afterwards. I again cannot confirm that, but might be the case right now. Look at that game sense coming through, Chief. I believe Mo might have gotten some heat from that a few years ago, but this is Pig, and he's very well respected. So there's a first gen popping at least for survivors, and again, it just looks like an impossible task for survivors, but it's still in an alright spot.
Yeah, no, the spot isn't all that bad. Obviously, Yelly going down here would spell problems. We would already be at the Tycon. We don't even need to worry about our tunnel out if the unhook does come out now. I'm sure Pig won't even worry about going back for it. That medium vault as well does spell our demise. And look at that. We actually are going to play for our tunnel out. Screw the win con. We want the best result. We're going to try and swing through this pallet and hit Cahill's BT, but he's going to greet it and get away in time. He hopefully has just enough BT to be able to make something else. He does indeed. He has this pallet top mid. This can chain nicely into the pallet at 7 that we knew he dropped. Pig with a lovely V1. He's going to be able to connect on that down. Lovely stuff as well. That's going to be Cahill's second down of the trial. Yelly still on the ground, being picked up by Freya in the background, as we've just seen. 1 gen pop. Benny's on 1. I would assume on the top side it's about 60% now. Our Ruin has been re-upped as Penty as well. That's beautiful stuff. Benny's going to be feeling that very, very shortly and for hopefully a very long time if you are on the side of Pig. But speaking of Pig, we did just see him get fled. Freya avoiding that tag crucially at this point because another tag for our survivors would start to spell really big problems. Obviously, Yelly needs to be playing it very safe. Cahill on the hook. Can't have him rotate because it could spell problems at the hook for our survivor. Team Benny, we know, is on that gen. Freya wasn't able to play for that trade quickly. We could just see Cahill dying on this hook, but Benny is going to be able to get that pop in time. I'm sure he will be playing pretty advantageously for this unhook now. But I think Pig is also quite aware of that fact. We think all our survivors might be close to the top side at this point. So we're just holding our cross a bit, Tavi, and we're making sure no one can get this hook for free. And as we do so, we're actually going to stray towards 5 and see if these bottom gens are being worked. And unfortunately for Freya now as well, we've been caught out in the mid-map, so our saver has been identified. And I think that means, yeah, we're just going to opt to let Cahill go. That's the win con firstly, but also the death at 3, Tavi.
death at 3, and there's not really much that Oppenheimer can do about it because it's just not really the positioning that allowed that unhook to happen, and there goes the win con. Ironically, there goes the win con with that. But look, that's going to be a tag on Freya, and Pig actually deciding not to commit here. So, oh, never mind, he got faked out. But Pig runs out of rushes. Unfortunate double bump there. I did want to say something about the V1 touch that he talked about before, but anyway, Pig's still feeling confident and just will zone Freya out of any kind of option of counterplay. So, yeah, I guess Oppenheimer could still put on some kind of fight here, but it does look like a relatively mid 4K2-ish territory would be my guess. I guess they do get the gen one, so I did lie there. It's actually 99ing the gen to try and bait Pig away to the top side, but Pig is very patient and is actually not even venturing there. So yeah, there's a little bit of time wasted for Oppenheimer there, but I don't think it's going to matter too much in the long run. But of course, comp that might not be the case. So Pig's going to take a swing there. Somehow they're connected, and again, the survivors like hold into a really, really difficult spot where the rotations are just going to be difficult to.
Yeah, no, definitely for sure. Obviously, sorry, I was a bit bewildered by our interaction on the gen there, watching Benny use it for dear life, clutching to anything he could to not get down there. We did also, I think, just see a survivor rotating edge 8. I think I'm losing my mind again because that's probably the third time tonight where I've seen something that our killer hasn't, and it's probably not even real. What? So we've managed to hit a survivor inside of a locker. That is the gameplays. I don't know how that happened. Either way, Yelly's on the ground. Freya has rotated to pick up Benny, and unfortunately, that does mean we have located both of our survivors injured. The 4K2 will be secured if we are able to get this down quickly and Benny isn't able to rotate up the map. But Freya uses Dead Hard beautifully to secure that little bit of extra time. Because of that, Benny is able to get the pick, stabilizing us for a few seconds. But I'm sure Pig isn't too stressed. He knows the gen progress is completely non-existent. We've gone all the way back for Freya. Now they're on the ground as well. This could be another hook state for them, maybe even in the basement at this point. And I think that's exactly what Pig is thinking as well. So Yelly and Benny now have two options. We either sit a gen. Freya has disappeared from the hands of Pig as well. That was interesting. Thought he might have DC'd for a second, but nope. Still in the game, on a hook. It's what you want to see, but Yelly and Benny do have two options now. They either have to play very, very slow and reset, or one of them, Jiggy sends it, and look at that. I think we've done the Jiggy sending for that unhook exactly. We're not resetting. We're trying to get on this gen top mid, trying to get it to pop as quickly as possible. But Pig, I think, was a bit aware of that, went topside looking for either or, gets eruption on the gen, sees the scratch marks, may even just commit that as the unhook comes out in the background. Pig opting to go back, wants this death. Gonna try and get our second tunnel out, playing a bit like Nightlight. This is very, very famously, if you guys are aware, what he loves to do. He likes to get his tunnel out and then just go for the next one. And I mean, Pig obviously has swapped over to Yelly now, trying to get another fresh hook on the board, but creating a 2v1 situation from this point would obviously guarantee the result at whatever gens we have left. Although now, this commit here as Yelly goes to die edge map, I dare say means that Gen over in top mid may just pop. We knew it was already about 50%. Benny, my word, never mind, I forgot about Penty. Holy, that is not anywhere near popping. But speaking of Penty, it has been cleansed from the trial. We don't have to worry about it anymore. God damn, that put in work though, Tavi, didn't it?
Yeah, even though Penty got nerfed pretty hard to, I believe it was 20% from 30%, still can be very effective at just slowing down the game, and it goes to show, just time is really important. Time is the key to everything, I guess, in comp. It's a really general statement, but yeah, there goes Freya, and that will mean only two survivors remain in the trial, which to me is pretty impressive considering that we saw two of them go down in the 3v1, and they managed to recover through some incredible perk usage. So yeah, there's still some chance to make it not a 4K2, but it doesn't really matter because of course the Drags have taken the set pretty decisively. Still nice, of course, to see it play out and to see how Pig handles the situation. We can all take a feather from the book or put a book. Okay, I'm not going to try and finish that one. my brain kind of died there, and we can all take a page from his book. That's what I was trying to say, and maybe see how he deals with this 2v1 now. I think with eruption though on this mid gen, I don't think it would be possible for Oppenheimer to do much. And now that Benny's been seen, that does kind of just secure it and can play the 50s now on this strong palette. Well, okay, I was gonna say, will we see an allowance of the palette? And it seems like yes, Pig will allow Benny to make the palette, but how many times can he greet it? Like, I think he just wants the palette dropped to Pig. He actually goes for a short swing through, and Benny attempted to drop it there, but got body blocked. And that's the end of the 1v1. Nice little 1v1 there, but yeah, that secures 4K2. Really clean gameplay there. And now we have to see how Oppenheimer deals with Pig's Freddy. Pig's Sniper.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, that's scary.
it's a bit scary, Tavi, isn't it? I mean, we did also see a 4K3 earlier tonight from another team from NEA. I think it was Kratos, right? I'm not just making that up. That wasn't the other game. It was Kratos played staff. Can someone please confirm very quickly? I'm losing my mind, Tavi. I'm glad that you also made a little bit of a blunder in your words because it's making me feel a bit better about all of mine tonight, and Hunter probably in the background as well. Yes, mate, it was indeed Kratos. I'm glad. What was the question? Thank you, Mr. Referee Man, not knowing what I asked, paying attention. Was a 4K3 on the Freddy by Kratos onto Spacey and friends. I'm glad. Thank you for being locked in, other match official. Very glad to have you in my pocket right now. But no, exactly. We did just see a 4K3 from our other Chinese team, Kratos, so maybe Pig is able to do the same. It wouldn't be the first tonight, and hell, I don't think it's going to be the last we see in OSL, considering this killer seems to be a 4K demon. I'm obviously hoping it's not. I expect our SEA teams are going to be quite a bit more confident on the killers like Freddy. They do love their hit takes. They love playing around these pseudo M1s and their standard M1 killers, and Oppenheimer especially are known for their high level of gameplay in these sets. It wouldn't be a shock if they are able to get outs in this situation, even despite the fact it is going to be Pig stepping up. We'll just have to see. We will truly just have to see. But obviously, the other thing you really need to worry about is Pig is probably going to set a pretty good win con regardless. But that's not even the scariest part. You have his survivor team of Chinese Dragons that will load in right on after and probably, once again, like I said a bit earlier, pull your pants down and point and laugh. So we'll just have to see how they go as well, Tavi, won't we?
I guess so. And we're in the lobby, but I think we're just still figuring things out. So I think we just go to a quick intermission again. It is late for me, so hopefully my brain can recover from that feather analogy, which didn't go as planned. So yeah, quick little intermission for me. I'll get some water too. We'll be right back.
Pig is back. Freddy is here. It is time. We're going to see what this man can do. Will he match Oscillator's result of a 4K3? It is all to be found out right now, Tavi, isn't it actually? So exciting to see this.
Okay, I will say something about Freddy. I you know most Freddy players, I never hated the killer. I hated the player who played Freddy because they always
Oh,
had some
Tavi,
weird
my
build,
heart.
like some sloppy butcher, some oblivious build, and like some weird perks. But after this buff, that's the key words. After this buff, I really liked seeing how he fares in comp, and I think he's really interesting as a killer because a lot of the survivors are down to just playing 50-50s, and although some people say it's skill and some people say it's not skill, um, Mystic, then you get some really interesting gameplay because you want to try also avoid the snares as we saw Fair unfortunately take that one, and additionally, yeah, Talon's become unsafe. He can teleport everywhere, and now being asleep really isn't that much of a big deal. I would assume a head-on is occurring here, and Pig is trying to bait it out, but there it is, and that was a perfectly perfectly timed head on for Benny. So good team captain there. I don't know if they actually make the vault though. Nice fast fall. Oh, that's techie like that, Chief. And I think that kind of turns back the initiative into Oppenheimer's favor because suddenly they have the main building and you don't want to chase around here if you're the killed.
Oh, 100%. The only problem, obviously, being is this is one of our active gens that we did disrupt by running here, but it's far more important to last and make these strong resources than it is to worry about the gens. Obviously, look at this. Pig is trying to use the kit that we talked about earlier, the teleports and all that, to get a bit generational, as we've said a few times tonight. Freya nearly caught out by that lovely teleport. That would have been magnificent to see if Pig was able to get that down like that, but no, just barely avoiding it. Freya will now be forced to play 50s on this front main pallet, wins that one, able to make our short carriage pallet towards Shack. These two pallets chain together beautifully. We're going to have to play a 50 yet again, though, as we have been snared, and unfortunately, we aren't able to win it. That will be us down on the ground. Freya does just enough to last for that first gen. That's exactly what you need if you are playing against a Freddy, and Pig doesn't even care about his pain. We're seeing that first gen go. He knows that someone was playing head on, so our other gen is about 50%. He's not too aware of that, but we do know ourselves, which means he's willing and opting to take a basement hook and save that pain res for a bit later. He also knows what gen it is that was being worked. Look at that. He's teleported right on top of it, denied any extra progress, and will be able to get eruption on it very shortly. Honestly, good recovery, all things considered. I think getting a basement hook, despite the extended duration of that chase with the head on, and despite the teleport, is pretty beneficial. And it will be interesting to see what our survivors opt to do now, Tarvi. I'm not too sure if they'll decide to play for this save aggressively, or they'll decide to triple split. It is looking like we're favoring the triple split, and I think Pig is also anticipating that himself. So playing very aggressively towards 8, gets that hit onto Cahill through the pallet. That's beautiful, and he's going to use the teleport once again to try and cut off our survivor, actually, as well, playing it double safe, cutting off the survivor and getting us back to basement. Now Freya is going to have to play the game of get past the body block. I'm not too sure where our savior is. They have just managed to escape. That is Benny taking a tag. Freya will finally be able to make it out of Shack. That is light on the window as well, but Pig doesn't even care all that much. We're going to make this pallet barely as we swing for it. Benny is on the ground. Pig is going to also immediately spot Freya. That is problematic indeed. We're playing some beautiful mind games there, forcing the drop. Also able to get the down. We don't have any pallet below, so that is our second down on to Freya. That's our tunnel out, having their death hooks, not death hooks, second hook will be dead next at 4 generators remaining, and with Benny on the ground, someone having to rotate, we FTP them up. My word, now that is not what you want to see, because we now have 2 injured survivors, all injured survivors on the board. I didn't even realize that Cahill was still injured himself. I mean, this is where snowballs start to happen with this killer. You know, you have so many strong resources, Tavi. You can teleport around, catch someone off guard, get another down, and then you're forced into this unhook. And hell, I mean, this is where things could get really, really ugly if we aren't careful. Our survivors need to slow this down.
They need to, but it's just so difficult to keep up with the pressure that Pig is applying. That one single tag, I think, that Cahill took at that bottom side of the map near Gallows, just so punishing, and they had to recover from that by forcing, of course, that FTP that you saw from Yelly, and suddenly everyone's injured. Sure, not stopping Butcher on everybody, but it's going to be a while before anyone can even go for these for this unhook, and yeah, they're not even going to attempt to do this. They're just sitting the gens and accepting their fate. And we do have Yelly just sitting here, making sure that Pig does not leave the hook too early, which I would assume he won't. But again, it would be huge for the survivors if Pig did teleport early and then the unhook happened. But that being said, there goes Freya on the hook. There goes a generator or 2 for that. So really nice recovery from our survivors. But again, not really much they can do when the gen's committed. Can't really make anything safe for Cahill, and they're just going to go down, give away that pain resonance. By the way, that's not even a pain resonance use. So we're at 2 gens, everyone, and there's 0 pain resonance used in this entire trial. And you know what that means, Pig? It means that nobody has even touched a gen apart from what was just completed in this trial, which is insane, because now it means that there's still 3 pain res in the trial. Everyone's still injured. That means they have to reset as well. You know, Sloppy might be gone, but well, they did not reset. Actually went for the hook, and again, it can get interesting here.
No.
Just as Yelly, just as I say that Yelly gets caught off guard, and that's going to put us back at square one, Chief.
Yeah, it's actually even worse off now as well, because the hook is further deeper 8 Obviously, that only makes it harder if you don't have many resources. And I've just noticed we have a fair few. We have that pallet towards mid 8. We have Gallows pallet up, and I think we might have also had Shack pallet. So maybe it's not so bad. We do have a few resources to get both of our survivors out safely if we have another unhook come through, whilst our survivors are injured. And I think we're seeing exactly that. We see the scratch marks and the blood heading right towards that hook. I'm sure in the background someone else is sitting a gen. Maybe it's that gen at 1 or 2. I'm not too sure where it was, and no, it's somewhere near that region of the map. And we've unfortunately, despite all the resources we did have around, we found Yelly not near 1, trying to stealth to their best of their abilities, and been zoned towards 6. They're going to have potentially the pallet here. They do as well. They can drop this and make Shack window pretty safely, and I think Pig is all too aware. So he's going to teleport right on top of that gen at 2. Benny not leaving early enough will be taking that down. This gen will be interrupted, having Eruption reapplied to it as well. We're not even going to take the pick, Tavi. We don't care about getting his pain res or anything of the sorts. We're heading right back over to 6. We spotted Yelly out quite quickly. This forces the rotation of Cahill, and we will unfortunately have to play 50s around this pallet. And yeah, dare I say, they're not going to be very easy to win, especially with the length of that pallet. So that's once again Yelly on the ground. We're not able to pick Benny in time. Sloppy Butcher doing us a bunch of favors there as well. Cahill in the last chase of the game now, having to play around this strong pallet 1, but this will be the final chase, Tavi. A 4K2 secured with that down. I mean, not the 4K3 I was expecting, or predicting rather, but damn near close.
Yeah, and there's really, I guess, not much the survivors could have done from that point where the death happened. I guess Yelly got caught off guard. Perhaps that was avoidable, but they had to stick that generator online. Cahill had to stick that. Otherwise, it would just go back to 0. It's like eruption and everything. You might be seeing, of course, that 4K3 that is envisioned. So yeah, not really much that I could say. It's just really clean gameplay. And one thing I will remark on though is, yeah, Freddy, I've seen a pretty, oh, okay, the Nightmare. I've seen quite a lot of players in Nightmare, maybe even specialists. They just go for slugs, and it's insane how the one singular teleport buff that Freddy got, sorry, the Nightmare got, um, for being able to teleport to healing survivors or anything, just makes him able to slug so much more. Just having that mobility puts him in such a strong position a lot of the time, and yeah, that's what you saw there. Just not even opting to pick that pain res, and it really just fell apart for the survivors at the point. So yeah, Freddy, really, really clean stuff there from Pig, and I guess we'll just go to short intermission again. I'm not really sure what else to say, so yeah, we'll just go to short intermission and maybe we'll get some fire for that.
Yes, everybody. We are back for what may be the final set of the night. I'm not too sure if our killer on the side of Oppenheimer is going to be able to match that result. It is the lovely Freya. Honestly, they do have the potential. Freya is an incredible killer player, but unfortunately, against these survivors, you do have to be a bit worried. Now, I want to point out, I didn't get to speak about the add-ons that we saw on the side of Pig, but I do get to talk about them for Freya. We see Rake again. I talked about how I think this add-on does nothing, but apparently we've got some fans in the audience. But something I am a big fan of is Prototype Claws. We saw it on Pig, and we now see it on Freya. It is a very comfy add-on. It makes you send out your snare that a little bit faster. I think it is 10% right now, and that, for me, it feels great. It's a great option. It's comfy, it's lovely, and both of our Killers players decided to run it tonight. So I'm feeling very justified and valid in my pick of that personally. And I mean, look at this start already. It's typical Chinese Dragons gameplay as I've gone on that little preamble. Lin has started his first chase, greeting that pallet. Lovely effect was set up wonderfully as well for a head-on. Freya is going to bait out the vault with a teleport, trying to disrupt the gameplay of our survivors once again, but Nias has read the teleport all too freely and is going to be able to take distance to a pallet, winning the 50s on it and zoning themselves towards 8, having a strong pallet to play around now. Freya's best interest may be to break this as soon as possible because as Nias is not losing a single 50. We're going to be able to dodge that snare and make it to another safe pallet of Gallows winning the 50 there as well. That's Shaq. Although the pallet is gone, we've made it there safely, and the first gen of the trial has been popped. We are also on main. I mean, our efficiency, if you are Chinese Dragons, is always second to none. Tavi, I don't know if you're with me. I know you went to go get a drink, but I believe you might be back. We've already seen an electric start to this game. Nias is going to be taking distance now. How many stages are we getting?
Uh, I would believe a number that's not higher than 11. That's for sure. That's what Sea Drags have convinced me of. Honestly, that's how strong that I've seen them perform in the past year. Now, as for single-digit performances for Freya, it seems like that's going to be the case because Nia S is doing a wonderful job of winning every single check spot, and pretty much, okay, I was going to say pretty much every 50, but I love my curse as a caster. I love seeing it happen as we do take the first down of the trial, and the amount of gen pressure that is, taken from this first chase compared to the previous trial is just staggering. It really is staggering. Even though you had the head-on happen and the main building plays happen, our survivors in this trial they didn't even do that. They're just playing really nicely around this area. Sakuda is going to pop the spin burst at the last second to get away. Really risky parting there to the carriage pallet, but it is going to work. And it's going to lose 50, so yeah, maybe a bit of caster space coming in here, everyone. But yeah, again, Freya's playing for a 4k3 to take the win, which I don't think is going to be likely here. But yeah, considering that hit though, maybe we got something going because one gen pops in the background. There's still a bit of hope for Freya in the current position, and effects setting up for the pull, so you can see this efficiency is down a little bit. I think it's going to start eating away at most likely effects gen, but yeah, it's just difficult here because Freya's just taking maybe a little bit longer than Pig to get the downs, and just that little bit longer when you're up against a team like Sea Drags makes all the difference. And yeah, this generator on Gallows also really hammering away at the 70%, so it's so much for Freya to do and in so little time, so you really have to pray for Miracle here if you're Oppenheimer.
Yeah, you said it a bit earlier, Tavi. Time is the most important resource in Dead by Daylight. It truly is, It's why Chinese Dragons are so good. Sure, their chases are excellent, and sure, their macro is always spot on, but it's how efficient they are with their time. A second is never wasted, and it's why they are able to pull off games with such staggering results, but also in such quick fashion. I mean, that Blight set we saw the 2 stages was over quicker than the 4K2. It's over the quicker than some of the higher 4Ks we've seen overall in OSL because they just pump those motors and get them out of the way immediately. Hell, I think we probably saw someone sprint to the gen we saw pop for the first chase of this game, nearly instantaneously get on it and not get off it for the entire time the chases were being played out. That's how efficient it looked like we were. Nia's also back in chase once again. This is potentially our tunnel out since we've split the hooks between him and Sakuda so far. We're gonna win. Oh my god, that's diabolical to win those 50s like that. We've gotten so much distance around. Freya has passed to cut us off, but it doesn't even matter. Look, we're all the way back main. There's nothing we can do. We're teleporting away because there's not a lot we can do with this chase. We did spot, I believe this is the effect on 9 that Jen is wearing. We're going to be taking our distance towards 11. We are able to dodge that snare. No, we're not actually, and that's a really unfortunate tag because of that. Slowed down, barely making it to the window in time. That will be enough distance to make it back towards the bottom window, but not enough for much else after that. We're going to have to play around our railing and the front main pallet carefully now. Although we've opted to jiggy towards this pallet gym, there's no pallet in the gym, but we do have the filler outside. So now 50s once more, unable to win as, oh my god, never mind. We do not connect with that swing. So a 51, Freya not doing just enough yet. Effect standing his ground beautifully on this pallet, finally ending up dropping it, and Passing around now, some more 50s to be played, but we
Oh.
jiggy back to front main. No 50s, no more. We have a safe pallet to play around now. Snares may come out to disrupt us. We're not getting hit by that one, but the 50 finally has been lost. Effect is on the ground. 2 gens popped for that chase. It's our 3rd stage. Look at Sakuda. They're all ready for the pickup, potentially a flashlight save, but we've teleported away. Lin in chase now, as Gallows has been the gen that we've opted to teleport to, leaving Effect slugged. We've lifed away. We're taking our distance towards 6, preventing the tag for as long as possible. We have a Z-wall here. I didn't know these could spawn, honestly, but that is a tag prevented for as long as possible. We're now going to pass back in towards the map. We have the strong pallet at 6 to play around, and we're just going to send it away once again. We didn't end up getting the stage from Effect. He was picked up by Sakuda, and Sakuda instantaneously was rotating down towards the bottom side to get that reset. But Freya has ended up pathing right back to it. Lin will now opt to die full edge, as he will be we can't be winning those. Oh, this has. Oh no, no, no! Please. Oh, that would have been heartbreaking if we had gotten that. But we're right on the gate, right in the face of Freya. I'm speechless, Tavi. Obviously, the game has been won already, but my word, what another, just another incredible showing from Chinese Dragons on Survivor. Like, they just never put a foot wrong. It truly is so incredible to watch.
And it's, in my opinion, not that they never put a foot wrong, but they don't make it show in such an obvious way, and they recover from it so well that, you know, you get the results. You get the results still. And again, I do not remember them. Do not remember a case where they've been 4K'd by any team in my past year of spectating their team play. I think most of the rosters have been the same. We got the shake of the head by Freya, and I think there's a 50 there for Sakuta. But yeah, most of the rosters stayed the same. I don't think they've really changed anything, which is fairly surprising because even a lot of the other top teams from Europe, you see maybe a couple of members step in on the very rare occasion, and maybe some will just pass. But yeah, as Chinese Dragons, they've stayed as their name. They've stayed. They've stayed whole, and they've performed really well. Got a good body blocking going on for effect, as the 5 stage is now secured in the trial. But yeah, they just play this one really well, and I I commend Pig for that Blight game because again, my most recent memory of Pig's Blight was at 5 stage versus I believe maybe was it this team? Mm.
It was
I
adolescence, no?
adolescence. It yeah, the names are like kind of merging for me. Adam, because I remember there was like an Adam at Shack, and then he got down through, and then there's like a flashlight save, maybe like an attempt, or there's an FTP through the Shack. That's right.
It might have been
Yeah,
Nameless Kings. It was one of our other Asian teams. I know that for a fact.
yeah.
Either way,
And the name.
like you
Yeah.
said, incredible result to have seen that come through, and another incredible result for Pig to be able to pick up a 4K2. I mean, this game was really over so fast. It's incredible that we sort of had. No offense to the other teams, but the slugfest that we had, the back and forth, they were honestly, they felt like they dragged on forever and ever in comparison to this game, which feels like it was over in all but 10 minutes. I mean, once again, it just goes to show that the quality Chinese Dragons bring. They just get the job done. They're in and out, and once again, I've said it so many times tonight, but it truly is just a spectacle.
Yeah. There is actually maybe one thing. Maybe they got the motivation to perform. Maybe the curfew is affecting them. But that's not for me to speculate too far into because they've played well pretty much. Yeah, every time I've seen them. So that's it. That is the end of week 8's games. That was pretty crazy. That was pretty crazy from Sea Drags as usual. But every other matchup again really, really close. So that is me and Chief for tonight. I guess Chief, you can go ahead and take us out and mention the socials too.
Yes, I would love to, Tavi. You know me. I love to mention our socials. Of course, if you don't know already, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, get on all of them. Get in the Discord as well. !socials, !discord in the chat right now if you want to get involved on all of those platforms. We have content across them all at all times if you want to keep up to date with all the latest news, all the funnies, all the ha-has, and just everything else. You know, people that we got around in the community. We have some lovely people that get featured on there as well, some affiliates and all of that. Make sure you're taking a look. Just enjoy the ride. We have a lot throughout the weekend. When we're not here on the weekend, that's where you can find us the most. So, as I do say that, of course, thank you for joining us tonight. It was a bit of a long one. We are wrapping this up just after midnight. So, definitely not the latest we've gone this season, but definitely a fair bit later than we were anticipating for the night. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for joining me so late in the night, Tavi. Of course, thank you to Hunter for joining me for the rest of it. And thank you all in the audience for sticking it out as well. It means a lot to us at OSL. And we hope you will join us next week for our final week of group stages where everything is to play for still. And then we are finals bound. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you next week.